Developing right now on Morning News Now, escalation in the Middle East. Overnight, Israel launching a new round of strikes, this time on Iranian fighter jets and uranium manufacturing sites. Meanwhile, President Trump signaling the U.S. could enter the conflict as he and Israel's prime minister raise the idea of a regime change in Iran. Now, Iran's supreme leader vowing to show no mercy on Israel. We have updates from Washington to the Middle East. Also this morning, calls for change following the deadly shooting of a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband, as we learn more about the suspect accused in what's being called a targeted attack against politicians.
It's the responsibility of leaders, especially the president, to not just unequivocally condemn hatred, but to stop the violence and aggressive language used against political opponents. We are opponents. We're not the enemy.
The latest on the investigation and the solemn procession held for the victims. Financial fallout, consumer spending slides as fears over America's economy grow. Plus, the Fed expected to hold steady on interest rates. We'll break down the numbers and what it all means for your bottom line. And call it a joint discovery. Multiple studies linking cannabis use to poor heart health. What doctors want you to know. Did you see what I did there?
I did. The double entendre? Yeah, of course. I would expect nothing less. You're really all in on this morning. I'm Sam Brock in for Joe today.
And we're so happy you're here, Sam. Good to have you. I'm Savannah Sellers. We're going to get started this morning, of course, with this breaking news coming out of the Middle East this morning. We now have Iran's supreme leader saying Iran cannot be forced into surrender. This is in response to President Trump's call for Iran's, quote, unconditional surrender in its conflict with Israel. Multiple administration officials say he is considering a range of options for U.S. involvement, meeting with his national security team for over an hour in the Situation Room yesterday.
So, Savannah, President Trump also threatening Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, writing that we know exactly where he is hiding. Trump's words adding, we are not going to take him out, at least for now. This coming as Israeli missiles continuing to find military targets in Tehran. The IDF says it's destroyed fighter jets, missile launchers, and sites related to Iran's nuclear program. In response, Iran has launched new missile barrages against Israel overnight as the two sides now enter a sixth day of conflict. We have senior fellow at the Middle East Institute, Alex Vitanka, standing by with analysis on the volatile situation, along with White House correspondent Monica Alba with the very latest on the Trump administration's movements here. But we begin in Israel, where international correspondent Matt Bradley has been obviously following all the developments on the ground. Matt, good morning. You know, we saw more of a volley of missiles overnight. Let's start where you are in Israel. Iran's new army chief saying yesterday that the strikes conducted on Israel so far have been a deterrent warning, vowing that, quote, punitive action will be carried out soon. But has Iran so far been able to land any significant blows here?
No, not really. Not in the last couple of days. They have been before, and that's what we're seeing. It's been at least 36 hours, and I got to nail down that statistic for you, since we've seen an actual fatality here in Israel. It's almost been that long, or about that long, since we've seen a real injury coming from any of these Iranian missile attacks. Now, remember, in the opening days, we saw the death toll rise and then rise and then rise again with each subsequent night of Iranian reprisal attacks against the Israelis. Here in Tel Aviv and throughout the country, civilians being killed. That is not happening anymore and hasn't been happening for much of the past 2 days. And this is because, according to the Israelis, it sounds as though they have managed to maintain, and we keep hearing this from the Israelis every time we speak to them, they now enjoy complete air superiority over Tehran and the western part of Iran. That means that they are able to do things like what you just described. And we heard this from the IDF spokesperson just today, that they were able to do another series of strikes on Tehran, an extensive operation that involved more than 50 fighter jets, and it lasted for 3 hours with 3 waves of strikes. And so when we're talking about this, it's easy to just say it, but you have to imagine here, this is something that in many ways the IDF, the Israeli military, wasn't anticipating, that they would be able to take and hold air superiority over Iranian airspace for this long. They're essentially putting their jets over Tehran, over Iran, and leaving them there unmolested for hours at a time. And that's one of the reasons why we're seeing such a lopsided fight, at least over the past 48 hours.
Matt, in Iran, we are seeing footage of just this traffic gridlock as thousands of people flee Tehran. We're also hearing from an on-the-ground source that a cybersecurity breach is affecting the city. Tell us more about what this is like just for civilians on the ground in Iran.
Yeah, I mean, the Iranians announced this, too, that they had launched this cyber attack. They're no longer able to get cash out of cash machines. So the situation has now become a multi-pronged attack. We saw basically the Israelis were first striking anti-air, then striking nuclear targets, then striking economic targets like gas fields and oil fields. Now this cyber attack is just yet another blow on top of many against the Iranian regime. It's unclear exactly, given the decisive nature of this battle on the Israeli side, what the plan is for day two, whether or not there's any effort to try to move this from a military operation to a political one. And this is something that we've been seeing when you go all around Israel, all of the conflicts and theaters in which it's engaged. We're seeing unequivocal military superiority by the Israelis. Huge loss of civilian lives in many cases, and no real plan for the day after.
Air dominance, as you described it, Matt, as we were just looking at those images of all the people trying to escape Tehran right now, with just the level of uncertainty in the region. I mean, it's incredible just to see the extent of chaos on the roads. Israeli missiles are continuing to damage and destroy key targets in Tehran. You were outlining that. Israel's military says that they've killed several top military commanders, 10 nuclear scientists. What other targets have they hit in the last 24 hours?
Well, as you mentioned, just that cyber attack. And now we're talking about actually the IDF just announced that they were striking helicopters, attack helicopters that they've disabled on their platforms while they were on the ground. They've been hitting anti-air defenses. And this has been from the beginning. So it hasn't just been nuclear targets. One of the reasons why they were able to achieve air superiority is because they essentially totally disabled Iran's anti-air capabilities in the very early hours. So that's not news. That happened on Friday morning. It's been continuing to happen. And the other thing that they've been doing, and we've been hearing this from the IDF, is something they're calling missile hunting, which it means that they're just going around, again, exploiting their superiority over the ground and hunting missiles using what they've said is real-time intelligence. And that's another buzzword we keep hearing from the Israelis. Real-time intelligence, as opposed to intelligence they gathered in the years and decades ahead of this huge operation. Now, because they're able to have what they are saying are eyes in the sky, they're able to reinform themselves and adjust basically in real time.
Matt Bradley, thank you very much for reporting from the ground in Israel for us. Let's now bring in NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba. Monica, good morning. So we mentioned this a moment ago. The president met yesterday for quite some time with his national security team in the White House Situation Room. Talk us through this variety of options the administration is considering when it comes to this conflict to Iran. And how great is the fear that the Iranian military could strike U.S. assets in the Middle East?
Well, that's certainly a top concern, Savannah and Sam, and that is why the president is reviewing this wide range of options, because given different scenarios, there may be different ways that the U.S. would be involved here. We know that military bases in the region with U.S. personnel are on high alert, and if somehow there was an attack on one of those bases, if any U.S. personnel were injured or killed, that is a scenario where we could see a larger response and the president more likely directing some military action. Now, if that doesn't happen, it's still possible that the president could order some military action and could aid Israel in trying to bomb out these nuclear facilities that you guys were just discussing with the help of U.S. weaponry, because those giant bombs, those bunker buster bombs, as they are called, are something that really we believe only the U.S. has the capability of giving. That's a major decision the president needs to make, too. And then there's the option of doing nothing militarily and just continuing to help Israel in its defensive posture in trying to help intercept some of those missiles, some of those drones that are still coming from Iran, which the U.S. has said it will do and will continue to support in that manner. But this is really a situation where it could change by the hour, and I'm told the president is still considering all these options. Everything still remains on the table, at least for now.
Monica, can you help folks maybe understand some of the pendulum swing here? Because we know that previously President Trump had said the U.S. was not going to intervene directly in this conflict. He was pushing for a broader nuclear agreement. Then he posted on social media yesterday saying, quote, the U.S. has complete and total control of the skies over Iran and demanding complete and total surrender from Iran. We know this morning the Ayatollah coming out and saying we will never unconditionally surrender. What kind of response has this created within our military and diplomatic circles after this sort of intense push for a nuclear deal?
Yeah, that was some very striking language, and you pointed it out, Sam. It's the use of our patience is wearing thin. We have total control over the skies of Iran. This idea that the U.S. is already potentially more involved than was previously thought in the last couple of days in the beginning of this conflict. And remember that candidate Trump campaigned on ending all foreign conflicts, not pushing the U.S. into more foreign entanglements, saying he wanted to be a peacemaker. So the response to that was certainly some raised eyebrows. And also this question of regime change. We're told that's something that the administration was not seriously considering, that they weren't going to join a potential Israeli plot to assassinate the supreme leader of Iran. So that would be a really, really significant shift. It seems more like that was some bluster, some heated rhetoric from the president, who does like to do a lot of his foreign policy by social media. So there was a pretty strong response to that, given that is how the president often likes to speak. Remember, he left the G7 summit where he was huddled with other world leaders, and other world leaders expressed some concern at those kinds of remarks, guys.
Monica, we also understand that President Trump has spoken on the phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu just within the last day, the last 24 hours. Was anything definitive agreed to about what role the United States will have in this conflict, especially given the comments that Sam just mentioned we've seen on social media from the president sounding like there is potential for more involvement?
Right. It doesn't sound like something was definitively outlined yesterday. Again, I think the two leaders discussed this range of options. It sounds like Israel has been pretty clear in that they would like the United States assistance here. They would like help in continuing to eradicate Iran's nuclear capabilities and take out those major facilities that remain. But this is a situation where we know the president and the prime minister have been in touch almost every day in the last week or so. And we know that there have been moments of tension between the two leaders. And that is certainly something that they have navigated, something that the past administration was clearly navigating as well. But it's really important to point out here that even at home here within his own party, within his own allies, there is a divide in MAGA world about how to proceed here, again, because the president promised to not push the U.S. into these so-called forever wars in the Middle East. But there are others really defending him. So also domestically for this president, it's just as politically risky as it has been domestically for Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. Guys.
All right, Monica Alba with a full breakdown there from Washington. Thank you. And yes, clearly the specter of the U.S. getting involved is very much at the fore here. For more on this, let's bring in Alex Vatanka. He is a senior fellow at the Middle East Institute specializing in Iran. Alex, good morning. Thanks for being with us. Obviously, so many layers to this conversation. Those comments, though, let's start from Iran's supreme leader saying that Iran will, quote, never surrender, per the president's question. And that, quote, any American military entry will undoubtedly be met with irreparable damage. Those are his words. This coming as President Trump's threats against him are raising questions of a regime change. Monica was just talking about that. What kinds of conversations do you think are happening inside the Iranian government right now?
Well, good morning. Look, if you look at the totality of the Iranian regime, you really have two main parts to this. You got the men in uniform, if you will, the ones who are firing those missiles at Israel today. That's centered around the Revolutionary Guards, known as the IRGC. And then you got the state machinery, the foreign ministry, the presidential palace. They're the so-called more pragmatic voices. Well, the pragmatic voices right now don't have much to bring to this fight right now. They're obviously the technocrats in suits. They don't have much to say. So it's the hardliners who are in charge. And they are saying, and I would include the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei there as probably the top hard line in Iran, that they're going to fight this out, that they are not ready to give in yet. But I suspect if there was a moment for diplomacy to work, if you will, that those pragmatic voices that are sitting on the sidelines in Iran will have to have a say in the conversation, and they have to. That will be their responsibility to speak to Ali Khamenei and say, sir, you're the reason why we're in this mess. And this is not a moment for you to be proud. This is a moment for you to make the right decisions and concessions to prevent this war from getting out of control.
This concept of a regime change, I mean, it's something that President Trump has been critical of for years. He's attacked lawmakers on both sides of the aisle for the support of any type of foreign intervention. But it seems just lately what we're hearing, what we're seeing on social media, maybe he's changing his tune a bit. But I mean, this is a country of 90 million people. What risks would be created by a full collapse of the Iranian state? And how would that potentially impact U.S. involvement in the conflict or on the ground in Iran?
We really don't know. I mean, we've never been here before. As you said, this is a country of 90 million people. the size of Alaska or 3 times the size of the country of France, 15 immediate neighbors, many different ethnic groups, many American soldiers based around Iran, plenty billions of dollars American commercial interests from energy to otherwise in the Gulf states and elsewhere. So we don't know. What we do know is last time Iran was occupied, if you will, was between 1941 and 1945. And it took the Soviet Union and the British to occupy that place during the Second World War. It's a large country, it's a major undertaking. Collapse of Iran could have impact across the board, and it will not necessarily be a nice thing. I'm not saying that's the only scenario, but my concern is I don't see a functioning opposition on the sidelines waiting to take over in Tehran as a central government. That's my concern. So anarchy could really be one of the scenarios we can expect if Khamenei is killed and the regime collapses.
Yeah, Alex, I'm so happy you brought that up, because one of the questions here would be, is there a strong opposition voice, right? If there is popular support for an uprising, for an overthrow of the current government, you do need sort of a galvanizing figure. Does that exist? And by the way, it was only 3 years ago that we saw these widespread protests over the abuses of the Iranian regime. Specifically, you'll remember, after a woman was beaten by improperly wearing her hijab and later died from that. So there was some hope at the point that could lead to change. What is the current right now on the ground, and who can actually lead to an overthrow if that's the objective of the people?
Exactly the right question to ask. Look, the Iranian people, I think for a long time, given up on the Islamic Republic. Ali Khamenei is responsible in the eyes of average Iranians for this state of affairs. Now, you can question whether Israel was justified in attacking Iran or not, and I lean on the side that says Israel shouldn't have done this. There was a way to deal with Iran's nuclear program other than attacking them. But let's not put that aside. This is a regime that doesn't have its people behind it. But will these same people, once bombs starts dropping on cities of Iran, will they be in a position to actually stand up to the regime? And that's the big question mark. People will put their own survival first, as your footage just showed. They get in their cars and get out of the city. They're not running down trying to organize a political a campaign against the regime. So that's really important. There are figures. I mean, the son of the Shah, Reza Pahlavi, is probably the most prominent figure. He's been in media in the last few days saying a bright future lies ahead for Iran. But again, does he have enough support right now to pull it off? That's a question mark.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns, clearly. Alex Vatanka with the Middle East Institute. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Important context there. Well, this morning we're learning new details from the investigation into that attack on Democratic politicians in Minnesota. Police are revealing more about what happened that fatal night at the home of Melissa and Mark Hortman. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa has the latest.
Hey there, we're here outside the Minneapolis area jail where accused gunman Vance Belcher is being held. This as authorities revealed new chaotic details tied to the shootout that they say sparked the largest manhunt in Minnesota's history. And the family of one of the lawmakers he's accused of murdering speaks out.
A solemn procession carrying the bodies of State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark as Minnesota authorities work to determine the motive of the suspect they say stalked and killed them at their home early Saturday as part of a targeted attack on lawmakers.
He's nothing short of a monster.
Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley sharing new details about the shootout at the Hortmans' home, describing this frantic call from a sergeant.
She said, "Hey, Chief, here's the deal. Senator Hoffman, who lived in Champlin, had been shot. His wife had been shot. We came over to Melissa Hortman's house, and Mark, her husband, is dead. We can't find Melissa. We think she might be kidnapped, and the officers got involved in a shooting with the suspect."
It wasn't until officers went deeper into the home that they found her dead. The family dog, Gilbert, wounded. He was later euthanized.
It was from here, the Hortmans' home, that authorities say Belcher took off on foot, sparking that historic two-day manhunt.
According to court documents, during that manhunt, authorities found guns, cash, and passports in Belcher's wife's car.
Can you tell me whether or not she's been cleared in that investigation?
I would say nobody's been cleared in this investigation.
Lawmakers around the country on edge. Congress holding an emergency briefing about safety. Minnesota Rep. Zach Stevenson knew Melissa Hortman for decades, remembering this advice she once shared.
You can be strong and kind at the same time. And that really was what Melissa Hortman was all about.
The Hortmans' grown children saying the best way to honor their parents is to do something, whether big or small, to make our community just a little better.
And back to the investigation and that point from the police chief about Vance Belcher's wife. Up until now, authorities have really only largely said that she was never detained during that traffic stop and she's fully cooperated with the investigation. I asked the police chief just point blank, what can you tell us about Jenny Belcher's role in this investigation and whether or not authorities are looking at her for possibly helping her husband? And he just very bluntly said they're leaving no stone unturned in this investigation, and then added, and if anyone helped him, quote, they will be held accountable. And that was as far as he was willing to go. Back to you.
All right, Maggie Vespa, thank you very much.
All right, we're going to move to some economic news this morning. All eyes right now on the Federal Reserve, which is expected to keep interest rates steady again when policymakers deliver their latest decision this afternoon.
Yeah, the central bank meeting comes amid this ongoing economic uncertainty. This is related to President Trump's trade tariff back and forth and also these growing geopolitical turmoil in the Middle East that we've been talking about all morning.
And the impact on the oil market, potentially. Investopedia's editor-in-chief, Caleb Silver, joining us now with more. Caleb, thanks so much for being here. So the expectation is the Fed is not going to make any movement right now. I guess reading the tea leaves, what are they looking at?
Yeah, happy Fed Day to all who celebrate, but don't expect any...
We have to ask him first, Sam. You might not know this. The meeting is in
6 hours and 41 minutes is when we'll get the decision, and then there'll be a press conference. No, it's ticking away. It's ticking away, but we're not going to get an interest rate cut today. Most likely 99.9% chance. No change in interest rates, 100% chance the president will hate that decision, non-decision. But the Fed is looking at the economic data right now, and if you look at inflation, came in last week at 2.4%, unemployment at 4.2%. Job done as far as the Fed's concerned. That's just where they want the economy to be right now. But the uncertainty around tariffs and now oil prices, that could throw things into chaos.
Sam just mentioned oil prices. We're going to get a little nerdy, a little in-depth about this right now because there is this concern with the Iran-Israel conflict and the potential that the U.S. gets involved, that this incredibly necessary oil source could essentially be shut down. We're going to pull up a map here. This is called the Strait of Hormuz. We have about 20% of the world's oil flowing through here, right here, that you could see. Essentially, this could be shut down. What would it mean for the world economy and financial markets if that were to happen?
Yeah, that is a major supply chain disruption. There's one little island right there in the Strait of Hormuz where a lot of that oil leaves Iran and goes down the strait to places like China, which is one of the biggest importers from Iran. So you got China in the middle of this conflict as well. You're probably going to see a squeeze on prices. We saw a 7 or 8% rise last week, calm down a little bit the last couple of days. But if oil prices keep rising, that eventually bleeds into gasoline prices. And oil obviously is used for petroleum products, for plastic products. So you might see higher prices if this intensifies. It depends on how bad it gets and how long it lasts. But this is a super sensitive area. And it's not just the U.S. Again, China is the biggest importer. And then you have Europe, who also imports a lot of oil from Iran.
I know for many folks, interest rates right now are still at a higher level than they probably would like to tolerate, from mortgages to rising cost of goods and services. What does this mean, the Fed not taking any action right now for our wallets?
Yeah, get used to it, because you're going to see these rates probably stick around this until the end of the year. Right now, if you look at Fed fund futures, this is where traders think interest rates are going to be. We see 2 little baby cuts maybe by the end of the year. But today is important because we get the summary of economic projections from the Fed and the dot plot, the most boring yet most important chart in finance that tells you where Fed officials want interest rates to be 6, 12 months out.
Maybe boring is good.
Boring is good.
All right,
no kidding.
Thank you.
Thanks, Caleb. All right, well, deadly weather continues to hit parts of the country. Today's no exception. Powerful storms are on the horizon from Texas to Michigan, with the possibility of damaging winds, hail, heavy rain, even tornadoes. And in West Virginia, NBC News correspondent George Solis spoke with a family grieving the loss of their son in powerful flash flooding.
Torrential rain pounding Kansas as severe weather threatens millions. The deluge in Pennsylvania stranding this group of 100 Girl Scouts. First responders helping the troop across a flooded roadway north of Pittsburgh. Nearly 20 tornado reports from Nebraska to Minnesota. This massive funnel cloud seen ripping across the Cornhusker State, menacing farms and homes for nearly an hour. The Army National Guard on the scene in West Virginia, the state reeling after major flooding took the lives of 7 people, including 26-year-old Kylie Shotton and her 3-year-old daughter Parker.
I know I heard someone yell, help, and I think it was him. And all I could do was watch helplessly. I couldn't do anything.
In Triadelphia, Brian Creighton says his 19-year-old son Travis was with his mother Donna. The water quickly rising, ripping their home from its foundation. They were both swept away, Donna surviving.
Travis' last words to Donna was, swim, Mommy, swim.
I'm trying, baby, I'm trying. And then I just kept going underwater.
Brian says his son died a hero.
his last selfless act. I really want my baby boy back.
All right, George Solis with that report. Heartbreak, obviously, as we try to deal with all of this inclement weather. We have more details now on the severe storm risk, which is still sticking around with your Morning News Now weather.
We sure do. Michelle Grossman's here in studio with us with the details. Hey, Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Great to see you. And yeah, we're looking at severe weather today and also on Thursday. So the multi-day event does continue. And we're looking at storms this morning. We've been watching them all night long, producing heavy, heavy rainfall, lots of lightning, too. Clear to see where this cold front is. It's stretching from Texas all the way to portions of the Great Lakes. And that will be the theme throughout the day. So we're to watch some rocky weather, especially this afternoon into the evening hours once that daytime heating gets going. So there's that potent cold front. It's a long one. We're looking at severe storms all along this front. Downpours, too, with a lot of them. That's indicated by these brighter colors on Futurecast. This will all move off to the east tomorrow. So we're still talking about severe weather on Thursday, now targeting the mid-Atlantic, the Northeast, and then we'll see scattered showers, too, and storms throughout the Southeast. So another busy day tomorrow. This is what it looks like for today. 54 million people at risk. We could see winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour, 65 miles per hour, damaging hail. A few tornadoes are possible. Also, that heavy rain will be falling as well on top of some saturated grounds. So notice the coloring here corresponding to the legend. We have an enhanced risk. That's 3 out of 5 on the severity scale. So we're talking about places like Lafayette, also Evansville. But notice the big, big cities stretching from Texas all the way to the Great Lakes. So we're talking about Chicago. We're talking about Dallas, places like St. Louis. And we could see some strong storms there also. That number grows to 62 million tomorrow because we're talking about the mid-Atlantic, the Northeast, down to the Carolinas, where you see the yellow. That is the likeliest spot for seeing some strong storms from Burlington to Albany, New York City, D.C., Norfolk, Charlotte. Now, keep in mind, if you are traveling tomorrow on the I-95 corridor, you're flying out of all the major airports in the Northeast, you want to call ahead tomorrow because we will have some severe storms going through the area. As far as that's the biggest story today, but we're also looking at dangerous heat continuing in the Southwest. Temperatures soaring over 100 degrees, 110 in some spots. And the Southwest isn't the only place heating up. We are going to be heating up in the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, the Carolinas. We do have a heat alert in portions of Philadelphia, the surrounding areas there. And then 15 million in the Southwest, where we're looking at dangerous heat warnings, heat advisories, because we will see triple digits there. But guys, we may see our first heat wave in the Northeast beginning next week.
I mean, this has been like a total 180. Every week delivers seemingly a different vibe on the weather front.
It's gloomy today. Like, I want to take a nap, and then it's going to be summer.
Okay, well, we're waiting for that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michelle.
Appreciate you.
All right, well, here we go with some sports news. South Florida, which practically never freezes over, is once again title town this morning as the Florida Panthers have won their second consecutive Stanley Cup. They won the honor of skating the cup. There's a term for you, Sam.
That's a thing.
After beating the Edmonton Oilers 5-1 in Game 6 last night, Florida wins the series 4-2 in what was a highly anticipated rematch of last year's final. Did you know that? Panther center Sam Reinhart scored 4 goals in the title clincher. The Panthers are the NHL's first repeat winner since the Tampa Bay Lightning did it 4 years ago. For our friends north of the border, it's now been 32 years since a Canadian team has won Lord Stanley's Cup. Just wait till next year.
Did you know that it was Lord Stanley lording over this whole thing?
Of course you did. That's why I read you the news there.
One of our first introductions was, I'm not a sporty girl, but hey, I think you did a pretty good job selling that.
I had to go walked through every line of that this morning.
You nailed it. Much more coming up on Morning News Now. Later this hour, it's a significant shift, Savannah, in the way that we watch TV, how streaming has made its way to the top. Hello. And what it could mean for the entertainment industry.
If you're here, you already know that. Up first, though, after the break, a confrontation caught on camera why a candidate for mayor of New York City ended up in ICE custody. We'll be right back.
And welcome back. Immigration became the central issue in the race for New York City mayor after New York City comptroller and mayoral candidate Brad Lander was arrested yesterday by federal agents at immigration court. Now, Lander was released from custody several hours later in Lower Manhattan, where he was met by a crowd of supporters and even some of his opponents in the mayor's race. Chris Jose, with our affiliate WNBC here in New York, has the story of yet another dramatic confrontation caught on camera.
New York City Controller, mayoral candidate Brad Lander emerging with his wife and Governor Kathy Hochul by his side after 4 hours in ICE custody. A big crowd waiting for Lander at Foley Square. More than 100 people showing up after learning of the arrest.
They're putting on a show and they're trying to intimidate New York and New Yorkers, and it's not going to work.
ICE arresting Lander during his third visit to immigration court to observe and advocate on behalf of immigrants.
I asked to see the judicial warrant.
Lander says he was arrested without due process when he asked immigration officers to see a warrant. He was holding the arm of a man immigration officials were trying to detain. Lander on MSNBC tonight.
They indicated they had a warrant, but did not show it.
Lander worried about the undocumented man he was trying to protect. Edgardo taken into custody outside of a scheduled asylum hearing.
Edgardo is in ICE detention, and he's not going to sleep in his bed tonight. So far as I know, he has no lawyer. He has been stripped of his due process rights.
The Department of Homeland Security says Lander was arrested for assaulting law enforcement and impeding a federal officer, adding it is wrong that politicians seeking higher office undermine law enforcement's safety to get a viral moment. Governor Hochul, minutes after Lander's release.
There are no charges. Charges have been dropped. He walks out of there a free man.
Lander's Democratic mayoral opponents denouncing the arrest.
He was asking them to follow the law.
This is what happened because Mayor Adams turned over the keys of the city to Donald Trump.
This is disgusting. This is not law. This is lawlessness.
Quite the united response there from all the mayoral candidates. Our thanks to Chris Jose for that report. The U.S. Attorney's Office, by the way, saying it is investigating Lander's actions and will decide later whether he is going to be charged with a crime. Let's stay right now on the topic of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. ICE is going to be renewing raids at farms, hotels, and restaurants after briefly exempting those locations from searches. NBC News Now anchor Zincle Esimwa spoke to small business owners about how these raids are impacting both their workers and their bottom lines.
As protesters call for an end to deportations and raids, many business owners fear the emotional and fiscal fallout is just beginning.
I know of one landscaper that lost 9 or 10 of the whole crew he had, and he's just totally out of business all of a sudden.
President Trump suggested last week that immigration raids would shift away from workplaces like farms, hotels, and restaurants.
They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. And we're going to have to do something about that.
But now the Department of Homeland Security says worksite enforcement remains a cornerstone of our efforts to safeguard public safety, national security, and economic stability, all as business owners speak out. In Key West, Florida, Vincent Scardina is the owner of a roofing company. He spoke to WTVJ and says a third of his workforce was detained in an ICE raid.
It's financially as well as emotionally. It takes a toll.
Of his workers, 5 of the 6 detained men have pending asylum cases, according to their immigration lawyer. Scardina voted for President Trump, but says he thought the administration would focus solely on deporting criminals.
You get to know these guys. You become their friends, just not an employer, but a friend.
The American Immigration Council estimates that 4.9% of the U.S. workforce is undocumented.
A small number of workers can impact a local economy quite drastically.
This Kansas City street, once the heart of a thriving Latino community, is now facing a dramatic decline in sales, as told to our affiliate KSHB.
I call ahead of time to see if there is any immigration nearby or anything.
And in Chicago's Little Village,
recently we have seen fewer clients, fewer people have been coming.
WMAQ visited the hub.
We had an incident that somebody posted a TikTok from Atotonico, and as soon as they put that up, people diminished.
In Boston, residents sharing similar sentiments with WBTS that fewer people are leaving their homes.
If these events are being used to thin our herd, so to speak, there's a problem.
Closer to the heart of the protests, in California, the fear is palpable, as one worker told KNTV.
There's definitely been a decline in sales.
The chilling effect, particularly detrimental to service industries.
When we look at agriculture, we know that 15.1% of the workers, the construction industry, we know that 14.1% of workers are undocumented.
And the guidance at the federal level continues to expand.
I'm having clients that do that work still being picked up even today.
If we
had perfect enforcement of federal immigration rules, we'd starve in this country.
Local businesses and many of those who make them possible hoping clarity comes soon. Zinclair Samoa, NBC News.
All right, we're going to go abroad now. And Ukraine's president was at the G7 summit looking for support against Russia as Iran continues right now to dominate headlines. NBC's Matt Bodner joining us with that and other world news going on right now. Matt, good morning.
Sam, good morning. President Zelensky made his appearance at the G7 summit in Canada yesterday, but left relatively empty-handed. The Ukrainian leader had hoped to shore up American support and secure a strong G7 statement and commitment against Russia, but the Iran crisis overshadowed the Ukrainian visit. Trump departed the G7 summit early to focus on Iran. Meanwhile, Russia has continued to slam Ukrainian civilians with missile and drone strikes. Monday and Tuesday saw some of the most deadly attacks in months, with at least 18 people killed in Kyiv and Odessa and 151 wounded. Moving along now to Brazil, the government auctioned off several land and offshore oil sites near the Amazon River on Tuesday as part of a bid to expand production of potentially untapped wells. All of this, of course, coming despite protests from environmental groups and indigenous communities. Tuesday's auction happened as Brazil prepares to host the UN's first climate talks to be held in the Amazon. Groups demonstrated against the auction on Tuesday and warned that oil exploration risks damage to sensitive ecosystems and indigenous communities in the area. And we'll wrap up this hour in Rome. An 80-year-old man attempted to drive his car down the famous Spanish Steps early on Tuesday, but got himself stuck partway. Police say the man tested negative for alcohol, and they did not specify whether or not he was using satellite navigation as part of his decision to attempt this maneuver. It was a struggle to retrieve the car. Firefighters had to use a crane to lift the vehicle off of the steps. It does go without saying, the Spanish Steps are not meant for vehicle traffic. Back to you.
Yeah, to put it mildly, I mean, we think we can all relate to the fact, Matt, that GPS has taken us to some weird places. Sometimes that's
it's almost happened to me, I'm sure.
No doubt. Matt, thank you so much. Coming up next, we have some stunning allegations to get to made by R. Kelly from behind bars. The disgraced R&B star accusing prison staff in an ongoing plot, he says, to kill him. What we're learning from legal filings. And walk it out. New research suggesting that a daily walk could help with a common problem. Your weekly checkup is next on Morning News Now. And welcome back. From his cell in North Carolina, former pop star R. Kelly is accusing the prison staff there of an ongoing plot to try to assassinate him. The Grammy Award-winning singer is currently serving a 30-year sentence for multiple convictions, including sex trafficking. NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz has all the details.
Disgraced R&B star R. Kelly making shocking allegations from a North Carolina prison. The Grammy Award singer, known for 90s anthem I Believe I Can Fly, I believe I can fly, accusing prison staff of taking active steps to kill him, with his attorney saying the musician was deliberately given an overdose quantity of his anxiety medication while in solitary confinement, causing the singer to be hospitalized. The stunning claims made in multiple legal filings, stating that the incident happened nearly 2 days after R. Kelly publicly accused 3 prison officials of plotting to have him assassinated by an inmate who's allegedly part of a white supremacist gang. Kelly's attorney saying instead of killing him, the inmate told Kelly the truth.
Why is it that you believe these officers are trying to kill Mr. Kelly?
Trying to kill Mr. Kelly as a means of covering up the fact that the Bureau of Prisons itself has been engaged in crimes against Robert Kelly throughout the course of the investigation of his cases.
Since 2022, the 58-year-old born Robert Kelly has been serving a 30-year sentence for racketeering and sex trafficking. His public trial including graphic testimony from victims, some appearing in the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly.
The breaking point for me was when Rob slapped me and he choked me until I blacked out.
In a filing, prosecutors calling Kelly's new claims deeply unserious and theatrical and repugnant to the sentence that this court imposed for deeply disturbing offenses.
And our thanks to Liz Kreutz for that report. R. Kelly's attorney, by the way, said that the singer is now seeking a pardon from President Trump. The Bureau of Prisons has declined to comment on the matter, citing medical privacy and pending litigation. Well, it's time now for your weekly medical checkup. This week, we're looking at several studies that seem to show that using cannabis may have adverse effects on your heart health. Plus, playing with a popular toy could help your child improve their math scores. I want to know where that was when I was a kid. Joining us now, NBC News medical fellow Dr. Akshay Syal. With those stories and much more, good morning, Dr. Syal. Thank you so much for being with us here. Let's start right with that first headline that a recent review of multiple studies found there's growing evidence, apparently, that cannabis use could have negative effects on our heart health. Dr. Syal, what do the studies seem to suggest?
Hey, Sam, good morning. So, this notion of cannabis in the heart is something that we've actually been following here in our medical team for some time now. We actually reported last year on a similar study, and you can see this study on your screen here, essentially a larger study, Sam, with more evidence to that notion that cannabis could have damaging effects to our heart and cardiovascular system. And so what may be going on here, Sam, right? It's essentially what researchers think may be sort of what we call microvascular damage, meaning tiny little damage to the blood vessels that can increase your risk of a heart attack and stroke. And Sam, this study this week is a study of over 200 million people, finding that marijuana can increase your risk of a heart attack and stroke, even if you are as young as 19 years old, Sam, with no risk factors otherwise for a heart attack or stroke. And so this is the emerging evidence that's coming out, sort of suggesting cannabis is not as benign as we thought. And so, Sam, the doctor's orders here, please know your risk. Cut back if you are a daily user. I'll tell you what I tell my patients. Yeah. If you are going to use it, don't smoke it. Use the edibles. We think that is ultimately going to be safer in the long run. That's very interesting. Can I ask a quick follow-up on that, which is how much cannabis use would necessarily put you at risk for any sort of adverse heart health? So most of the studies really show, it's daily use. But Sam, the study that we reported on your screen that you saw just a moment ago last year can show as little as once a month, Sam, can increase your risk of having those cardiovascular events. All right, that's really good to know. Let's segue to something else here, quite literally. We are looking at a low-impact activity that recent research has shown can have a high impact on your health. We're talking about just a daily casual walk every day. What is one of the biggest benefits of that? One of the biggest benefits of that, Sam, is actually fighting one of the most common complaints we see in our clinic. I practice here at UCLA in Los Angeles, and Sam, low back pain. Low back pain is something that I see on a daily basis. It's something that affects 26% of Americans, or about 600 million people worldwide. And Sam, this study essentially finding that, if you have more than 100 minutes of walking per day, you can actually cut your risk of low back pain. And the reason that's so important, Sam, is because we don't have great treatments for this. It's a combination of physical therapy, maybe some medications and exercises. There's no really silver bullet for this. So the doctor's orders, guys, just keep moving, set reminders. You want to walk at least once an hour. For those of you with an Apple Watch, you're already familiar with that plan. Yeah, just walking to and from work, no doubt, can make a big difference. Lastly, Doctor, a childhood favorite toy that may be the key to improving kids' math skills, according to a recent study published in Mind and Brain Education. This sounds awesome. Tell me about this. What's the toy? How does it work? How does it help? Yeah, Legos. I mean, I was a big fan of Legos growing up. It's great to see that it can have some medical benefit here. Sam, this study from researchers abroad essentially finding a 6-week trial of playing with Legos can actually help what we call spatial thinking and spatial reasoning. And why is that important, right? That is helpful for, skills like learning how to pack a suitcase and being an architect or a STEM major. So it's really using those blocks and something to do with how our brain sort of visualizes those things in time and space can actually help you in your career and can help you in other aspects of life. So Sam, the doctor's orders here, don't be afraid to bring out those blocks. Think outside the box a little bit, no pun intended. It really could have benefits for you beyond just building those Lego sets. Are we sure there is no pun intended? Can I say it's building blocks for your math skills down the road? It's too early for puns, Sam. It's never too early. Dr. Syal, thank you so much for the great conversation. Anytime. Coming up next, cutting the cord. So a milestone moment for TV as streaming viewership beats both broadcast and cable combined. More on the shift and what it could mean for the industry at large. Next on Morning News Now. Well, we are back now with a big moment for the TV industry that definitely affects our broadcast. Streaming is now the most watched form of TV, beating out both linear broadcasting and cable combined. In May, streaming accounted for 44.8% of viewership, while broadcast and cable combined represented 44.2%. So it's eking out that lead, but still, the bottom line is this feels like a tidal change. And to show how quickly things are growing, streaming share has jumped up by 6% just from last year.
Let's bring in Brian Steinberg. He is Variety's senior TV editor. He joins us now with more. Brian, it feels like we've heard a lot about this sea change coming. Why do you think it is people may not notice this difference between watching streaming versus their typical outlets? But why is this change so important?
Well, it's super important because it does change the economics of television. You know, it's much harder to make money off people watching their own streaming diet than it is off people all grouped together watching a football game on broadcast TV. It forces companies like Comcast, which owns this network, obviously, or Disney or Paramount, to find new ways to make money, and it's not really that easy to do.
Yeah, I would say with how fragmented news consumption is right now, how difficult is it to monetize streaming in the same way? And what are some of the factors that you're seeing behind this years-long switch to streaming?
What I think is going on here is I think older people who normally would embrace broadcast and cable TV are getting into streaming. It's not just first adopters anymore. People of many ages now see the benefits of watching the shows they like at their own convenience. They're moving over to watch a favorite drama or comedy on a streaming service and abandoning traditional cable and satellite systems they would subscribe to. That's one thing. I think also there's a rise of, these kind of so-called fast ad-supported streaming services that aren't like, buy a subscription to Peacock or Netflix, or like Pluto or Tubi. These are kind of easy access, get easy in, easy out, and they're also ad-supported, much like traditional TV. So the older customers like, it's the same thing I watch on TV, but on my demand. So I think these two things are kind of spurring, a big rush of an older generation over to streaming now.
Yeah, and plus the hybridization of getting both entertainment and news on these streaming platforms seems to really make things more convenient for folks. I would ask, two of the streamers have a noticeably larger portion of the market. So who's winning out and why are they more popular?
So YouTube and Netflix seem to be getting a big chunk of this new streaming percentage. I think, YouTube is just proven convenience matters. If you can make something easier to do, people will go to it. And then people are watching short form and long form TV. YouTube is perhaps one of the best known ways of sampling everything you want, whether it be authentic movies or, amateur clips. Netflix, on the other hand, is built a business out of kind of feeding premium content, bigger hits via streaming. Now they're adding sports to the mix in recent months. So I think both these things are kind of fueling this new move.
That's a great point. Also, as you talk about how sports content seems to really be driving people to go and stream, in terms of what kind of choices there are for just typical viewers, do you see this change impacting the kind of content that is produced and programming and also how it's made?
Well, yeah, I think we're only in the beginning stages of new formats for streaming. This is an interactive venue. You can click a button and respond to something. People don't like to be interrupted. There's more pressing need to kind of figure out a way to make ads work but not interrupt too much. Short form and long form. What are the new program formats we're going to watch? Maybe half an hour is too long. Maybe an hour and a half is too short for some things. I think there's a lot of experimentation that's still going to be going on, and we're not quite there yet on what actually works the best in these new venues.
The search for the sweet spot. Brian Steinberg, thank you so much for the insight this morning. We really appreciate it. Let's move to some more financial headlines. Now, Amazon CEO making waves this morning over how he says AI is going to reshape that company's workforce. CNBC's Silvana Henao joining us with that and also other money news this morning. Hi, Silvana.
Hey, Sam. Good morning to you. Yeah, so Amazon CEO Andy Jassy saying the tech giant will likely have a smaller corporate workforce as AI takes over more tasks. In a letter to employees, Jassy says AI is already changing how Amazon is doing business, and we, quote, will need fewer people doing some of the jobs that are being done today and more people doing other types of jobs. Now, Amazon has told investors it plans to spend $100 billion this year, focused mostly on data centers to power its AI ambitions. Meanwhile, Hasbro is cutting 3% of its global workforce as the toy maker faces higher U.S. tariffs on products made in China. The job cuts amount to about 150 employees. That's based on the nearly 5,000 workers Hasbro had at the end of last year. Now, a spokesperson says the company is aligning its structure with long-term goals. Hasbro cut about 2,000 employees in 2023. Sales have held up, rising 17% in the first quarter. All right, and Baskin-Robbins is giving parents a pass this summer with a new limited time offer on ice cream scoops. The chain is offering $1.99 scoops to rewards members, saying sometimes parents need permission to give up and give into ice cream for lunch. The Parent Pass promotion can be redeemed in store or through the Baskin-Robbins app on weekdays until June 27th, Sam. That sounds like a pretty good deal. If it's for parents and the kids, sounds good.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
I would also add, don't you think some parents have probably taken that pass before this, or maybe it's just like formal permission?
Probably.
Maybe.
I think it's formal permission.
Yeah. Silvana, thank you so much.
You got it.
Coming up next, a sentimental surprise for one of high school's graduating classes here in Staten Island, the touching gesture by the school salutatorian that made graduation day extra special. This is Morning News Now. It is absolutely that time of year. You hear the music, graduation time, and we end this hour with the unforgettable surprise that one high school student gave her classmates on graduation day. We spoke with a talented artist who worked tirelessly on her own to pull off an incredible gesture that will forever commemorate each member of her graduating class. From all appearances, graduation at Notre Dame Academy on Staten Island looked like a normal ceremony. But salutatorian Sophia Nielsen
I've prepared a little surprise for all of my fellow graduates.
had a trick up her sleeve, or you might say, on her canvas.
But first, I thought I would just make a big painting of the school's campus. Then I thought, graduation's not about the buildings, it's about the students.
The nationally recognized artist sketched classmates on an iPad, then brought them to life in watercolor next to their yearbook pictures. All 110 of them. The process took months, and the results uncanny and stealth. Even her childhood friend Kaylee was in the dark. So your families are like family?
Yeah, definitely.
And you had no idea this was going on?
Not a clue. Right behind my back.
School leaders offering supplies and a stage for something special.
I wanted everyone to cry.
So you had a very clear goal in all this?
Yes.
You wanted tears?
Yes.
What unfolded
Would please reach underneath your seats. There's something plastic taped there.
was a medley of emotions and ultimately a standing ovation. A graduation sure to stand the test of time for an artist who paints what she feels.
I knew it was a lot of work, but I did it.
It took more than an hour per portrait. So you're talking about 110, 120 hours of work to get that done.
Also, them talking in unison.
That was my favorite part.
What
of
a
that.
moment. Great story,
They're
Sam.
twinning. That's winning. That does it for this hour of Morning News Now.
Stay with us, though. The news continues right now. Good morning, and thanks so much for being with us on a Wednesday. I'm Savannah Sellers.
And I'm Sam Brock, in for Joe today. Well, right now on Morning News Now, actions and consequences. President Trump facing a pivotal decision this morning as he weighs America's potential involvement in the conflict between Israel and Iran. The commander-in-chief meeting with top security officials in the Situation Room yesterday, considering possible military action in Iran. And it comes as Israel says it struck key uranium enrichment sites overnight. The deadly back and forth now entering its sixth day. Our Richard Engel has the very latest. Also this morning, the shockwaves from what's being called a political assassination in Minnesota over the weekend, now being felt in Washington. Top lawmakers looking to tighten up security on Capitol Hill following that tragedy and the brewing budget battle that's coming along with it. We're also watching your wallet on this Wednesday morning with a key decision on interest rates expected from the Federal Reserve a little bit later today. What the central bank's move could mean for consumers as summer heats up. And later in the hour, are we saying goodbye to the good old 9 to 5? Why more and more workers are now getting caught up in what's being called an infinite workday. I kind of feel like that's been the case for a little while. What do you think, Savannah?
How horrible does that sound, though?
But it doesn't end.
It doesn't. You're emailing at home, you're emailing in bed, all the time. Yep.
The phone is the end of us.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you with us today.
Hey, thanks, Savannah. I appreciate that. We begin this morning with new comments from Iran's supreme leader. He said Iran will, quote, never surrender with its conflict with Israel.
That's right, adding, quote, any American military entry will undoubtedly be met with with irreparable damage. This comes as multiple Trump administration officials say the president is considering a range of options for U.S. involvement in the conflict. In a Truth Social post, President Trump claimed, quote, complete and total control of the skies over Iran, tying himself and America to Israel's war effort that he was against less than 1 week ago. His comments came before a meeting with his national security team yesterday. Now, that team is expected to hold another meeting later today as Israel and Iran continue to trade attacks. NBC News chief international correspondent Richard Engel is on the ground in Israel with the latest.
This is a residential area south of Tel Aviv that was hit a couple of days ago by an Iranian ballistic missile, and search and rescue efforts are still underway here. And you can see how powerful this missile was. It destroyed all of the surrounding buildings, took off the entire side of this apartment building. At least 6 people were killed in the initial strike, and 2 more bodies have been found. And now that there's talk that the United States military might get involved in this conflict, it could be heading to a turning point. Israel stepped up its attacks on Iran overnight and is now systematically destroying the country's military capabilities and ability to defend itself. Yet Iran still managed overnight to fire missiles at Israeli cities. And right now, Iranian ballistic missiles are coming into Tel Aviv. You can see the Israeli air raid systems in operation just over the center of Tel Aviv. This is the second barrage we've heard just in the last few minutes. Nearly all were shot down, with no reports of Israeli deaths. Iran's attacks also appear to be slowing down, despite threats from Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who posted on X that now the battle begins, and vowing to show no mercy. But Iran's military and infrastructure are being battered. New images show some of Iran's military bases before and after Israeli strikes. Israel now declaring that the Iranian military leadership is on the run, and Israel's ambassador to the U.S. suggesting much more may be coming.
We've pulled off a number of surprises. When the dust settles, you're going to see some surprises on Thursday night and Friday.
Already, Iranians are streaming out of the capital, Tehran. Israel says it has killed many top Iranian generals so far and at least 10 nuclear scientists. Iranian officials say they are open to diplomacy, but insist Israel must stop attacking first. Iran's ambassador to the UK saying this war is unnecessary.
Please accept our assurances that the Iranian side, there is no desire, there is no any intention to produce the nuclear bomb.
Not everyone is convinced. Germany's chancellor praising Israel, saying this is the dirty work Israel is doing for all of us. While China's President Xi saying all parties should work to de-escalate. But things do not appear to be heading toward a de-escalation. Iran's supreme leader just a short while ago, according to Iranian state television, said that Israel made a huge mistake and will pay a price.
All right, Richard, thank you.
All right. Meantime, President Trump has been pushing, or had been, for a negotiated solution on Iran's nuclear program. Now a complete posture change. The White House is now weighing its options, including a potential U.S. strike after Mr. Trump met with his national security team in the Situation Room yesterday. NBC News senior White House correspondent Garrett Haake joining us from Washington with the latest on this evolving story. Garrett?
For President Trump and for the United States, this could be a presidency-defining moment. Does the U.S. actively join in Israel's attempts to destroy Iran's nuclear program and risk being pulled into a wider war? Or do we stay supportive on the sidelines, pushing for negotiations to resume? The president spent much of yesterday in consultation with advisors and with Israel's leader on this question as the conflict between Israel and Iran continues to escalate. This morning, President Trump weighing a range of options for how the U.S. could respond to Iran, including a possible U.S. military strike, according to multiple current and former administration officials. The president speaking to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu by phone Tuesday and huddling with his national security team in the Situation Room for more than an hour, making no public comment on the crisis afterwards. But earlier, Trump seemed to allude to one possible option, posting, "We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader of Iran is hiding. We are not going to take him out, kill, at least for now," but adding, "Our patience is wearing thin." The president also demanding Iran's unconditional surrender and claiming we now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. After long pressing Iran to negotiate to end its nuclear program, the president suggested Monday that the window to talk may now be closed.
They should have done the deal. I told them, do the deal. So I don't know. I'm not too much in a mood to negotiate now.
The status of that nuclear program remains an open question. In March, Trump's director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, testifying on Capitol Hill.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003.
The president asked about those comments Monday.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to happening.
But Vice President Vance noting the UN nuclear watchdog recently determined Iran is not complying with its nuclear non-proliferation obligations.
If you want safety, part of safety, and I think all Americans want that, is ensuring that the worst people in the world don't have a nuclear bomb.
During last year's campaign, candidate Trump drew a hard line with Iran.
My terms are very easy. They can't have a nuclear weapon.
But also promised to be a peacemaker, especially in the Middle East.
I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III, most importantly, from happening.
Now, as President Trump, he faces a pivotal decision that could require taking one path and abandoning the other. The question of if and how the United States should get further involved in this conflict has already split lawmakers in both parties. It is the debate in Washington right now, with the president the lone decision maker. A senior White House official tells me this morning that the president remains in more or less constant contact with his national security team and that all options remain on the table.
Very much touch and go. Garrett, thank you.
Well, the political attack on lawmakers in Minnesota is putting officials on edge across the U.S. Yesterday, Congress was briefed by the Capitol Police, while some states have explored ways to beef up security for their public servants. NBC News correspondent Melanie Zanona has more from leaders on Capitol Hill.
The aftershocks of a horrific political assassination in Minnesota, rippling on Capitol Hill, as lawmakers now push to beef up their own security, worried they might be next.
And all of us are worried because none of us have any control. And we're not just worried about ourselves, we're really worried about our families.
Amid a tense budget battle already underway over President Trump's big, beautiful bill, members of Congress now renewing calls for more money to flow to Capitol Police, charged with protecting them.
There was agreement in our meeting between Democrats and Republicans that we ought to have that increased funding.
Right now, only congressional leadership have 24-hour security details provided by Capitol Police. And although other members can request protection on a case-by-case basis, outside the Capitol complex, hundreds of rank-and-file lawmakers often go completely unprotected.
I have more security than most. I have a security detail, what I'm with you right now. But most of my colleagues don't have that. Before it expand coverage for me, I would hope that others would be helped too.
The fears seeping into state legislatures as well.
It's painful that we now have to think about paying that ultimate price for being a public servant who tries to do the right thing and engage with the people.
Without access to the resources of the federal government, funding their own security is an even tougher task.
You're looking at about $200 an hour, and that doesn't include equipment, and that's for a single person.
Some states now exploring other ways to protect their public servants. Vermont's State House ramping up security and implementing a single point of entry. And in Florida, lawmakers passing a bill that would shield their home addresses from public release. The assassinations in Minnesota coming as political violence appears to be gaining momentum in American life. 2 attempts on President Trump's life last year, a hammer attack on former Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband in 2022, and an arson attack at the home of Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro this April.
A decade or so ago, it was about 10% of Americans said that violence was either expected or something that was legitimate means of expressing political beliefs. The last time I polled it, it was over 30%.
All right, our thanks to Melanie Zanuna for that report.
Yeah, stunning we're even having that conversation. Moving now to economic news, the Federal Reserve is expected to keep interest rates the same when the central bank meets a little bit later this afternoon.
Yeah, the expected decision comes amid ongoing economic uncertainty and heightened geopolitical tensions, of course, in the Middle East.
NBC News senior business correspondent Christine Roman's joining us now to talk all about it. So Savannah mentioned the geopolitical tensions, the potential impact of oil, rising cost of oil on our pocketbooks globally. What does that mean, and how is the Fed taking all this information?
You know, there's just so many cross currents right now. I can't remember a time where there were so many uncertainties for consumers and businesses and for the Fed. So we're expecting the Fed to do nothing, to not lower interest rates today. And that's probably going to mean for you and your wallet, it means mortgage rates still near 7%, a little bit below 7% right now. Credit card interest rates near 20%. They're near record highs. So if you're putting money on a credit card on plastic, very, very expensive. And new car loans about 7.9%. So expensive, historically expensive for a new car loan. So that's what it means with the Fed not moving interest rates today. We think they might move interest rates, cut them a little bit later this year.
Does there continue to be just so much uncertainty when, like, we're not sure what's going to go on with tariffs? Now we have this worsening conflict in the Middle East. And what does uncertainty mean for the economy as a whole and for all of us and just our personal finances?
We've already seen, we heard JetBlue this week say they've noticed that consumers are being a little more cautious about spending money on airplane tickets. We saw in the retail sales report that people were spending less money on cars and travel. And it's interesting because there was this preloading earlier this year, frankly, when you had all these people buying stuff ahead of tariffs. And we don't know what happens July 9th. We don't know what tariff rates are going to be. There were going to be 90 deals in 90 days. There's one deal.
I'm struck by a couple of things. One, you heard all these forecasts about the fact it was going to be a record travel season. And already we're seeing one of the major carriers pull back a little bit because of demand. That's a huge change in narrative. But you mentioned tariffs as well. It feels like this was 2 or 3 or 4 news cycles ago, but the tariff question is still very much upon us, and that will affect potentially inflation.
Absolutely, it will. And we haven't seen it yet, and that's what has been so fascinating, that the economists think that higher inflation is coming later on. But then you add on to this oil prices. Oil prices are up $10 a barrel over the past week. Wow. The rule of thumb we use on Wall Street is every $10 for a barrel of crude oil is 20 cents for a gallon of gas. So that means you're looking at gas prices starting to creep up 20 cents over the next couple of weeks or something. Now, gas prices, I think at $3.18 overnight on the national average, you know, they're still well below where they were last year. But that geopolitical risk, something that is probably going to feed into the inflation story, too. So see what I mean? There are just so many uncertainties all at once. That's what the Fed's trying to navigate today.
There are also just home ownership, right? Adjustable rate mortgages. This affects a lot of people.
Absolutely.
7% is still really high compared to where it was a few years ago.
Yeah, most Americans, I think half Americans have a mortgage rate below 5%. So that's why they're not moving, because they don't want to trade into a higher rate mortgage.
Right.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you. Well, millions of Americans are under the threat of severe weather this morning as powerful storms are expected to bring damaging winds, flash flooding, tornadoes to parts of the South, stretching from Texas all the way to Tennessee. NBC News correspondent Kathy Park is in Knoxville, Tennessee. She joins us with the latest on this. Hey, Kathy, good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning to you. Yeah, it's been a brutal week of severe weather, and there's no sign of it letting up. In just the last 24 hours, there have been 8 reported tornadoes. And as of this morning, tens of thousands in the Midwest and South are waking up without power. This morning, 54 million people at risk for severe storms, from the Ohio Valley to the southern plains, damaging winds and heavy rains hitting the South. In Oklahoma, power flashes seen over Tulsa as powerful storms moved in, causing significant damage in some areas. Winds reaching up to 70 miles per hour overnight, shredding this sign at a movie theater. In Colorado, heavy downpours keeping people and their pets indoors. Hail bouncing off of outdoor furniture. In Kansas, the rain and rapid winds rattling residents.
My whole car is shaking. This is out of control.
In Pennsylvania, dozens of Girl Scouts were safely rescued from a cabin after being stranded by flooded roadways. And this morning, tens of thousands without power as millions of residents brace for a blast of more wild weather. Okay. And looking ahead to tomorrow, portions of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast are next in line for these powerful storms. So places like New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, they're all in the bullseye. Savannah?
All right, Kathy, thank you so much, and stay safe there.
Sounds ominous. All right, so this feels like it's been a relentless weather pattern here. For more on today's severe storms, let's take a look at your Morning News Now weather with Michelle.
That's right. She's here in studio with us. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, it was a rough weekend weather-wise, and then we had Monday, Tuesday. Today, we're looking at severe weather, and then Thursday, as Kathy mentioned, we're looking at the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. So let's look at today because we have that long stretching cold front that's bringing the chance for more severe storms today. That's going to include hail, tornadoes, heavy rainfall, and some damaging winds. And notice, really, it's the eastern half of the nation that will see some wet weather, at least a possibility of some wet weather. Severe weather from Texas all the way to the Great Lakes, Ohio, very hot and dry in the Southwest. That's another big story. We have dangerous heat, temperatures soaring once again into the triple digits, and it's not just the Southwest that will be heating up. We're looking into the Mid-Atlantic, the Carolinas, and Northeast that will be heating up, especially tomorrow, and then especially the weekend into next week. We could see our first heat wave of the season. We could even see a 100-degree mark in spots, but that's to come next week. Radar showing us that we are tracking storms this morning. We tracked storms all night long, really heavy rainfall, looking at that lightning, hearing the thunder this morning, and that will be the theme all throughout this Wednesday, especially once we get that daytime heating going in the afternoon and also the evening hours. Here's the setup. There's a cold front that's going to bring some weather into the cold front's going to track into the Midwest. It's going to bring that severe weather from Texas into the Great Lakes, and we are looking at the chance once again for a downpour, so we could see some flooding, some flash flooding, in addition to all the risks that are usually on the table in terms of the severe weather. And those are 60-mile-per-hour winds. Could see hail, maybe an inch or larger. Also, a few tornadoes are likely. Where you see the orange and also the yellow on the map here, that's where we could see the likeliest spot of seeing some storms. And it includes major cities like Detroit, Chicago, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Oklahoma City, and Dallas. So if you're flying out of any of these airports today, you want to be call ahead and make sure that flight is on time. And you want to stay weather aware in this area because we are going to look at the chance for some strong storms. Tomorrow, we're going to see those storms into the Mid-Atlantic, also the Northeast. Rainfall forecast, if it was there, you would see 1, 2, even 3 inches of rain in some spots, and the higher amounts will be closer to the Midwest and also the Great Lakes. Dangerous heat. This is a big one. 15 million people impacted in the Southwest. Across the country, we've added Boston, Philadelphia into heat alerts beginning tomorrow, so we're up to 24 million across the country. But focusing on the Southwest, we have highs that will reach into the 100s, 110 to 115 in some spots. Las Vegas, Phoenix, those are really high numbers, and it gets to be dangerous because we've seen this heat day after day, so your body gets a little fatigued from the heat. Death Valley could reach 120 degrees. This is why we have an area high pressure, kind of acts as a heat pump. It's bringing in that southerly flow, bringing in that warm air. So look at some of these temperatures, guys. We're looking at 111 in Henderson, 105 in El Paso. And then on the East Coast, we've been cool. We've been below average for this time of year. We're going to be into the 80s and 90s pretty soon.
It really has been like chilly almost, I'd say.
We've been complaining, and I feel like we're going to regret it.
I know, we're going to be.
I know, we're like flipping that switch.
Yeah. You're going to just want to mute us all.
Never you.
No, never. Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah. All right. The man who's known as the godfather of AI is issuing a warning about the potential negative effects of the technology that he helped create. His name's Geoffrey Hinton, and he's the latest in the field to suggest that artificial intelligence could replace many people's jobs and even entire industries, adding that the constant and rapidly advancing tech could even speed up that timeline. Well, still, other experts I spoke with caution there will always be a need for some level of human involvement. They suggest AI could lead to new jobs, including some that don't even exist yet.
It does all the scheduling.
It's a struggle employers have faced for decades.
But scheduling is the main part of my job.
You still have a human being in charge of booking tennis courts? What is this, 1990?
But finding the balance of jobs done by people versus machines is rapidly becoming more complicated with the rise of generative AI. Now, one of the men who pioneered the technology warns it could pose a threat to workers in nearly every sector.
For mundane intellectual labor, AI is just going to replace everybody.
Geoffrey Hinton, considered the godfather of AI, saying on the Diary of a CEO podcast, without steps to reform how it's developed and implemented, we could see jumps in unemployment and wealth inequality.
If AI can make everything much more efficient and get rid of people for most jobs, or have a person assisted by AI doing many, many people's work, it's not obvious what to do about it.
Hinton's not alone. The CEO of the AI company Anthropic recently told Axios he believes AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs. Amazon CEO also telling employees expanded AI use will reduce our total corporate workforce in the coming years. When it comes to using AI, a new NBC News Decision Desk poll finds a pretty even divide, with just over half of those surveyed saying they rarely or never use AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini. And a nearly even split when it comes to whether they think AI will make the life of them and their family better.
We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
While it might seem overwhelming, experts say the idea of AI taking over is more science fiction than reality, suggesting it will even create new jobs, many of them surrounding AI itself, including how to train it and figuring out just when and where it could be used.
So the skill sets that are going to be in demand are less about how to solve the problem and more about being adept at identifying the problem that needs to be solved.
Author and AI expert Matt Britton making this comparison.
So for a while, you needed to know how to operate a camera in order to be a good photographer. Now, most of the best photographers just need to know where to point the camera to. And I think it's a great analogy for AI.
All right, so some of that kind of scary, right? But yeah. Britton, who you just heard there, again, he's an expert. He has this new book coming out on the matter. He essentially says that you should start trying to familiarize yourself with AI. Like, this wave's coming, and you're either going to be on the outside looking in, or you're going to be in the right position for it. A way to do that is to try to, like, think of a problem in your own life that you could potentially want to solve and that AI could help with. Easy enough. You go on one of these chatbots, you go to ChatGPT, you go to Gemini, and you just kind of can feed it some information. You can literally put in things about your finances. You can put in things about your schedule. It will pop out with helpful information. If you just can start to kind of understand its capability in that way, you'll be ahead of the curve, or at least a little more prepared.
Change is scary, obviously, but you can leverage the technology to help you become better at your job. At least,
Absolutely.
I think it's the sum replacement, that sum, like how much sum, I think is what many people are worried about.
Well, and I think that announcement from Amazon we mentioned in there that they are planning to cut corporate jobs because of what AI is doing efficiency-wise. I mean, it's coming.
There's
so
proof positive
to be aware of. Yeah.
Good story.
Thank you very much. Well, much more to come on this hour of Morning News Now, including the shocking, sudden passing of one of Food Network's top talents. The tributes pouring in this morning to Chef Ann Burrell.
But first, after the break, jury deliberations ongoing in the murder retrial of Karen Reed. Back in the spotlight this morning after posing an eyebrow-raising legal question to the judge. What that question was, we've got more coming up next. We're back now with the closely followed, high-profile murder trial of Karen Reed. There is still no verdict as we head into day 4 of deliberations. The jurors, though, raising some eyebrows yesterday after they asked for clarity around the meaning of a hung jury. It comes roughly 1 year after Reed's first trial did end in a mistrial. NBC News correspondent Emily Ketta has been following this case closely for weeks now. She joins us live outside the courthouse in Massachusetts with more. Emily, good morning.
Hey, Sam, good morning to you. As you said, no verdict yet, but we are getting a window into the deliberation room after the jury submitted their first questions that appear to suggest or hint at some kind of confusion or division over one of the charges, as we see tensions build both outside of the courthouse but also inside. Karen Reed's father telling me you could cut the emotion with a knife.
Emotions running high for Karen Reed's family.
I just want my daughter home and free.
As jurors head back to the deliberation room after submitting their first questions to the judge Tuesday, seeking clarification on the meaning of a hung jury.
If we find not guilty on 2 charges but can't agree on 1 charge, is it a hung jury on all 3 charges or just 1 charge?
The jury can deliver a partial verdict, but the judge said she would not answer this, quote, theoretical question.
I tell the jurors that they're not to be concerned with the consequences of their verdict, and that's exactly what they're doing here.
But the defense raising concerns that confusion over this point could lead to a repeat of last year's mistrial, when jurors reportedly didn't know they could come to a unanimous verdict on just some charges.
Because if that question remains in their minds, we're going to end up in the exact same position that we were in last year.
Reed is accused of hitting her police officer boyfriend with her car and charged with second-degree murder, manslaughter while driving under the influence, and leaving the scene of a deadly accident. Jurors also zeroing in on that second charge Tuesday, inquiring specifically about a lesser charge of driving under the influence.
and asking whether Reid's interview clips played by the prosecution can be considered evidence.
Yes, the videos are evidence, and give them whatever weight you deem appropriate.
Outside of court, Reid unusually quiet following the second full day of deliberations.
Karen, how are you feeling?
Though signaling gratitude to a growing crowd of supporters waiting on a verdict.
And deliberations will resume this morning, but it's worth noting there will be no court tomorrow because of the federal holiday, so we'll see if they reach a verdict before then. Sam?
All right, Emily, thank you so much.
We have NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalas here on set with us to discuss this now. Okay, Danny, of course, let's start with these questions from the jury about whether they would be considered a hung jury if they found Karen Reid not guilty for 2 charges but could not agree on a third. What does that tell you about where their thinking's at?
Oh, first, let me start by saying it is an exercise in astrology to try to guess where a jury's at based on their questions. But I think you can reasonably assume that from that question alone that maybe second-degree murder is already out. She may already be acquitted on that because that's the lead charge, the highest charge. So if we're talking about acquitting on anything, presumably it's that. But I've learned don't assume anything when it comes to jury questions. A good example of that is one of their other questions. Do we consider the videos of Karen Reid evidence? Yeah, of course you do. I mean, there seems to be no doubt. But look, as a lawyer, I get immersed in the case. It seems obvious to me, but it may not be obvious to them that the videos the prosecution has been playing the whole time are, in fact, evidence. And if you're the prosecutor, you're very concerned because those videos were some of your favorite pieces of evidence. And now the jury's not even sure if they should even consider them.
So much for faith in the jury. I guess, first of all, confirmed you're not an astrologer.
I am not, no.
But you are a lawyer, so that's good. If they can't agree on a verdict on all 3 charges, then what happens next?
So what will happen, because the key now, the question was phrased as a hypothetical. They're not actually deadlocked yet. They're not actually acquitting yet. But this is the exact problem they ran into a year ago at the first trial. This is Groundhog Day in Boston area. So what are they going to do? Shouldn't they have hashed this out in the jury verdict form over the last year? Yeah, I think some criticism is due to all parties. But if they actually report that we are, in fact, deadlocked, the first thing that will happen is the judge will give them a version of what's called the Allen charge. Go back in there. No other jury could do it better than you. You're just as good as anyone else. Get back in there. We defense attorneys don't like the Allen charge because we think it encourages a conviction. But then again, all part of the astrology that is trying to figure out what juries are deciding in a particular case. But no 2 cases are alike and no 2 juries are alike, and we never really know what's going on in there.
I don't think he confirmed when you asked if he's a lawyer.
I felt a very non-answer there.
I am maybe a lawyer. Well, just don't call
Stop
a bar.
it. We're kidding.
Nobody
He's
called a bar.
Very much a lawyer. Could this be retried yet again?
In theory, it could, but it would be a bad idea, in my view, for the Commonwealth to retry this case again. And the key is, what will they get a conviction on, if anything? I think it's likely they'll get a conviction on OUI. You saw in our own package there that she has essentially admitted I shouldn't have been driving. So it seems like they can probably convict on OUI. But if they mistry on, say, the second-degree murder, does the Commonwealth retry it? Or does this just become the most expensive DUI case in Massachusetts history, which it has to be?
I feel like that's a tall task. But leaving the scene of a crime alone would be 5 to 10 years, right?
Yes, and there's some very serious penalties associated with this. But, leaving the scene requires finding that there was a collision. And the defense's entire theme this time around is they didn't prove a collision. That's why I think the most likely charge, OUI. That's what I think.
Kind of a house of cards here.
Yes.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you. Well, the culinary world is mourning the loss of Chef Anne Burrell, who passed away yesterday at her home in Brooklyn. NBC News correspondent Ann Thompson takes a look at the life and legacy of the popular chef.
Hey there, police are confirming they arrived at Anne Burrell's residence to find a 55-year-old woman unconscious and unresponsive, pronouncing her dead at the scene. A fan favorite on Food Network and a frequent guest on the Today Show, the 55-year-old Burrell served up recipes with a healthy dose of humor that took the native New Yorker to the top of the TV food chain.
We're going to heat up our pan till it is hot.
Anne Burrell was a Food Network staple.
Oh my God, this is like Groundhog Day over here.
Bringing the fire.
Come on, dude.
What are you doing? And the spice.
Flat side down. Make it easy on yourself.
As host of the worst cooks in America, viewers first met Burrell as a sous chef on Iron Chef America. Her trademark shock of platinum hair making her instantly recognizable.
I'm ready with my time bundle. You know why? Because we don't have time for time.
She then debuted as the star of her own show, Secrets of a Restaurant Chef, becoming a mainstay of the Food Network for 2 decades. Born in upstate New York, Burrell was inspired by her mother and Julia Child, honing her skills at the Culinary Institute of America, in Italy, and then in some of New York City's best restaurants.
So we get like garlic instead of garlic. It's garlic.
And she was a frequent guest of the Today Show.
This also makes me feel like I'm a little bit on the Amalfi Coast.
Yes. Just 2 months ago, she visited us to make chicken Milanese.
Some hazelnuts.
Burrell was always taking a big bite out of life.
Welcome to my world of color. This is the living dining area.
She even introduced us to her world at home.
I spent some time in couch stores doing this. I totally get the minimalist thing for some people. I'm more of a maximalist. I like to be true to form.
Her last social media post was 6 days ago with a Brooklyn friend. The hashtag Lucky Girl. This morning, waves of praise and love from the culinary world. Sandra Lee remembering Burrell's quick wit and sassy drive. Worst Cooks co-host Robert Irvine says he knew Burrell as a generous and supportive colleague and even better friend. And from her family, her smile lit up every room she entered.
Bacon, butter, something with beef, and Burrell makes it better.
Burrell authored 2 cookbooks and was active in several charities, including Juvenile Diabetes Research and City Harvest. She is survived by her husband, Stuart Claxton. They married just 4 years ago. An official cause of death has not yet been provided. Back to you.
All right, Ann, thank you.
Thanks so much. Coming up next, ditching the dyes.
Yeah, new Trump administration push to phase out the use of artificial food coloring is now gaining momentum thanks to one big household brand. We will explain next.
And we are back now with a closer look at what's making news in the world of politics this morning, starting, Savannah, with a fierce backlash against Republican Senator Mike Lee of Utah over posts that he made on social media about Saturday's deadly shooting of a Minnesota lawmaker.
That's right. We have NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Sirkin joining us from Washington with that and more political headlines. Hey, Julie, good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. Here's a look at some of the top political headlines. First, Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee deleted multiple social media posts about the shootings of those Minnesota lawmakers. In one of the posts, he shared a photo of the suspect and captioned it "Nightmare on Wall Street," an apparent reference to Democratic Governor Tim Walz. Lee deleted the post after he was confronted by Minnesota Senator Tina Smith, who said those posts were cruel to the victims and their families. The Senate passed a landmark cryptocurrency bill on Tuesday. The Genius Act would establish the first regulatory framework for issuers of stablecoins. It's a digital currency pegged to the U.S. dollar. Just 2 Republicans, Josh Hawley and Rand Paul, voted against the bill, but Democrats were split. While some say crypto is not going away and the government should regulate it, many Democrats are concerned about Trump and his family profiting off of the industry and this bill doing nothing to stop it. And finally this morning, TikTok lives to see another 90 days. President Trump granted more time for negotiations for the popular social media app as Washington pushes TikTok's Chinese owners to sell its U.S.-based business or be banned. This is the 3rd time Trump extended the deadline, which was supposed to be Thursday. President Biden signed a law last year, remember, requiring the sale due to national security concerns. And that is a look at what is making news in politics this morning. Guys.
All right. Julie Sirkin, not trying to steal your TikTok beat, I don't think. You guys can share the love on that.
No, this is great. We need the headlines. Thanks, Julie.
You're welcome.
Thanks for looking out. It's got my back. Hey, I won't be taking my job if Sam has anything to do with it. Or Julie. All right, some big brand names are getting on board with the push to ban artificial food coloring from some of the most popular packaged items on your grocery store shelves.
Bring it back to real news now. All right, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said the government would work with companies to help phase out those synthetic dyes. Now, one major brand says it is committed to doing just that. NBC News chief consumer investigative correspondent Vicki Nguyen, what a title, joins us now with the very details. Good morning, my friend.
Also not AI, nothing artificial about these people here.
This is the real thing.
This is the real
right
thing for now. Good morning to you at home. These companies, they make some of the famous brightly colored foods that a lot of us remember from our childhoods, from Jell-O and Kool-Aid to boxed mac and cheese. Now, efforts to remove some of these synthetic dyes have been underway, but we are now going to see them replaced completely.
Iconic products like Kool-Aid and Jell-O poised for a new look.
Whoa, yeah!
As the push to ban artificial dyes in U.S. food products gains momentum. Industry giant Kraft Heinz pledging to totally remove artificial dyes from its products by 2027 and replace them with natural versions when possible. The company says nearly 90% of its products are already free of those dyes. Kraft Heinz getting on board after Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said the government would phase out all artificial dyes from the food supply by the end of next year.
We're going to get rid of the dyes, and then one by one, we're going to get rid of every ingredient and additive in food that we can legally address.
Kennedy claiming those food colorings are associated with behavioral issues in children. The FDA has not established that link.
I don't think they're good for us, but how bad they are is really not clear. Still, if there's any question about it, they should be out of the food supply.
We just recently went dye-free in our household.
The FDA has already announced a ban on red dye number 3, citing a study that found tumors in rats that consumed a large amount of it. There's no known link to cancer in humans. A 2021 California report also found that artificial coloring was associated with hyperactivity in some children.
I have been slowly but surely trying to cut out dyes out of my kids' foods.
But since products like Kool-Aid and Jell-O still contain large quantities of sugar, no matter what color they are, we had to ask if the makeover is only surface deep.
Is it a small step in the right direction? Or what more should be done?
I see it as a small step in the direction of improving children's health. If we really want to improve children's health, the first thing we need to do is to put restrictions on marketing junk food to kids.
All right, a small step, Vicki, but it feels like it's not just one company now making this big announcement.
No, this is a big move among a lot of major food makers. General Mills, they're the maker of cereals including Cheerios, Trix, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch, as well as the brands Nature Valley, Pillsbury, and Yoplait. They're following suit. They announced they will remove artificial colors from all of their U.S. cereals and K-12 school foods by next summer and out of all General Mills products by 2027. They're based in Minneapolis. Yeah, they said in a statement 85% of their products already do not have those artificial colors. But why not 100%? And a lot of people are saying these companies are already making these things overseas without artificial colors because of regulations elsewhere. Right. We're finally catching up here in the U.S.
Like, we don't need our yogurt to be pink or whatever.
We definitely don't, but for kids, do you think it's going to affect the demand and how appealing it seems to them?
I think it's all about the story we tell them as parents. Yeah. When you tell them, hey, listen, when something is that brightly colored, when it's blue and that color may not be found in nature, that might indicate it's a chemical. Then kids start to gravitate to things that look more natural. I think it really is up to parents and caregivers to kind of flip the script on it.
Set from the supermom. Thank you very much for being here.
Coming up, ever feel like your 9 to 5 bleeds into your 5 to 9?
Yeah, I don't know, like every single day. Well, after the break, we're going to dig into some new data from a top name in tech revealing more and more workers are falling into what some are calling an infinite workday. That's next on Morning News Now. We are back now with a new report that highlights how a growing number of employees are getting caught up in what's being called an infinite workday.
Yeah, sounds pretty terrible, right? In the last year, there's been a 16% jump in meetings, listen to this, taking place after 8 p.m. That is according to new data from Microsoft based on the activity of millions of workers who use the company's business applications. The numbers also show that 1 in 5 meetings are now outside the traditional work hours of 9 to 5.
I'm actually a little surprised it's not higher than that. For more on this, we are joined by Ray A. Smith, feature reporter on careers and workplace at the Wall Street Journal. Ray, good morning. Thanks for joining us right now. Of course, we can all sort of relate to this in the Journal. For sure, 100%. You wrote, quote, that staying connected really isn't new to the American work culture. Explain to us why the infinite workday is becoming more common. What are the biggest takeaways, I guess, from this Microsoft report?
Thank you. Some of the biggest takeaways are that things have changed since COVID in terms of when we were all working under lockdowns and working remotely, it was hard to turn off from work. This time, some of us are back in the office, or hybrid, and we're still working those late shifts, off hours, and it's partly because companies have been slowly sort of stopping hiring. So what that means is that they're not hiring as many people. They put a pause on hiring, and that puts a lot more workload on the existing employees. So that's one reason why, we're having to try to catch up off hours. Another reason why we're trying to catch up off hours is because basically a lot of us are stuck in meetings all day, back-to-back meetings. And when we're stuck in meetings like that, it's hard to get deep focus work done. And so what we end up doing is saving that or having to catch up off hours.
The report also talks about how it's not just the amount of work, but the way that it kind of impacts the day and is spread out. People say you can't keep up with this pace. How much longer do you think this trend can continue before employers need to make changes and employees just feel like, I can't do this anymore?
I'm really glad you asked that, because we're in a market where the white-collar job market is sort of slowed down. And what that means is that employers have the upper hand. And so it's not as easy for an employee to say, you know what, enough, I can't do this anymore, I can't take this, quit and find a new job really quickly. It's going to take a lot longer to find a job. So we're kind of stuck in this position as long as the economy is uncertain. So it really depends on the economy.
So I guess real quickly, Savannah was mentioning, Ray, a second ago, just the idea of burnout, right? Like, how do people claw back some hours? Because many people obviously feel this way right now.
A couple of hacks that some people I talked to told me about were basically to try to block off time on your calendars. If you have a shared calendar and you can block off time to let people know I can't be booked for this meeting or these meetings at this time, that can help. But that can only go so far. I mean, if you have to be in a position where you can really sort of say no to certain things, and not a lot of people are in that position. So it really takes an effort to try to sort of block that time out.
All right, Ray Smith with some valuable insight there. Thank you so much.
Very valuable, and something we can all feel. All right, if you're a cost-conscious traveler, you've probably noticed how costs can vary depending on things like the time of the year, day of the week, even the time of day. That is part of a business model that's common on things like airlines and rideshare apps. But now it's expanding to other places. Think museums, zoos, even aquariums.
Wow, this is going everywhere. Less than 1% of attractions used price-setting technology before the pandemic, according to the tourism research market firm Arrival. But now, 17% have implemented so-called variable pricing, with another 6% saying they've switched to dynamic pricing. So what does this mean for the price of your next adventure?
NBC News contributor Harriet Vasquez is here to help us with that. Harriet, good morning. So walk us through the details of variable and dynamic pricing and what ultimately influences these numbers.
Well, you've got at least 4 different ways that you can buy a ticket to an attraction these days. You've got static pricing, meaning it's the same price no matter what time you go, $10 for adults, $8 for kids. You've got seasonal pricing or variable pricing, where maybe it's winter or summer, different price, weekend or weekday, different price. Then you've got plan ahead pricing now, where you might go to a website and see a chart that says if you go today, it's $40, but if you wait a couple of days or buy your ticket weeks ahead, it will be less. And then you've got dynamic pricing, which is kind of like what the airlines are using. We're used to that. It could be anything, anytime. And as you said, changes by day or hour or by the weather.
I want to bring this back to families. Yeah, of course, it always comes down to the weather. Families are budgeting for something, right? And then the pricing could be different than that. So I want to use as an example, the CEO of Zoo New England told you that they, quote, charge what they need to make ends meet while delivering on their mission. So separately, the Consumer Price Index also shows that entry costs are climbing even at attractions that are not using price setting tools. So basically, like everything's going up.
How expensive is it to go to the movies now?
All of it, especially if you take 2 or 3 kids with you. So why do businesses feel like... Don't even ask Savannah about that. Why do businesses feel like they need to use this technology?
Yeah. Well, they need to use it because everyone else is and because they can. But also, it's like the airline. If they don't sell an admission ticket and an airline doesn't sell a seat, that goes bad. They've lost money on that. So they play with the prices to try to make sure they can sell something, and they want to make sure, as you said, it can cost a lot of money, that when you go to that attraction, it's maybe it's not a bad experience, so it won't be overcrowded. So they want to get you to go to a time when it's not so crowded and maybe pay less money, but go at a time that's maybe not as convenient for you, but better for them.
Harriet, I think people, as you mentioned, are kind of used to, like, I don't know, the cost to go here is X dollars. But are we going to have to get used to this, that if you're thinking about going somewhere, maybe it's continually checking the prices, seeing how they change and fluctuate as people buy tickets or don't?
Yes, I think you have to, just like the airlines, if you see a good price, buy it. But you need to check back and just understand that, like the airlines, when you go to a site, you're not necessarily getting the cheapest price or the best price. You need to be a good consumer and look around, check back, look at the discounts that you might have from organizations, and really look at it like a consumer buying something on sale or not on sale, convenient, not convenient.
All right. Harriet Vasquez, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Appreciate that insight, Harriet. Coming up next, it's a token of honor, Savannah, that has truly stood the test of time.
Yeah, when Morning News Now returns, the World War II relic reunited with one American family after showing up in a peculiar spot decades later. That is next. Stick around. All right, welcome back. Finally this hour, one of the most powerful symbols of sacrifice in the military is now also proving its durability.
This is pretty crazy. So a Purple Heart medal was discovered after being nearly destroyed in a Missouri scrapyard. Here's reporter Mike Bush from our NBC affiliate in St. Louis, Missouri, with the story behind it.
At Scrap Mart Metals in Jonesburg, Missouri, they turn metal into memories. But one memory just wouldn't melt. Every month, 14,000 tons of twisted steel pass through here. Cars, copper, and cast-offs are ground up, sorted, and forgotten.
When you shred a car will come out in tiny little pieces in 90 seconds.
But on one recent day, a glint of gold and purple caught the eye of picker Patrick Bloom.
The purple stood out the most. It stood out like a sore thumb.
What Patrick pulled from that conveyor belt was a World War II Purple Heart, completely intact, which defied all logic.
We get coins through this thing because, cars have coins in them, and they're unrecognizable. I mean, quarters are bent in half, and this thing's completely whole. The ribbon's still on.
There was a name etched on the back, just enough for Lucas and his staff to launch a mission. They turned detective, building family trees on Ancestry.com, until they found Katie Credemeyer.
He told me that it had gone through the scrapper and that it had survived when things like coins and other things hadn't survived.
This is class of 1944.
The Purple Heart belonged to Charles Joseph Hall, who was a cousin and grew up in the same house as Katie's grandmother.
He had brown eyes.
Katie's dad was named for Charles Joseph.
He enlisted right out of high school and wanted to be a paratrooper, but they moved him to infantry, and then went to Europe and was killed 6 months later.
The family knew about the medal, but couldn't find it until now.
My mom lived in Warren County, and she had a car in her driveway that was no longer drivable, so she sold it to a guy down in the little town she lived by at the garage for spare parts and scrap.
And the Purple Heart must have been in the car.
And the dedication of those in the industry who handle them.
To honor the journey, Scrap Mart didn't just hand it over. They flew the family to San Diego to their national convention to return a nation's gratitude.
We were like celebrities there. It was like people coming up to us and wanting to meet us and take pictures of the medal and take pictures of us with the medal. And for them to make this big deal out of it, it was really cool.
The medal now sits safely in the family's hands. Decades late, but somehow right on time.
We wouldn't have this if it hadn't been for the kindness of complete strangers.
In a scrapyard full of shattered parts, one small medal held on, not just through steel, but through time, waiting to finally come home.
I think it was definitely meant to be, that's for sure.
I mean, just amazing. Our thanks to Mike Bush for that report. The medal's recipient, Charles Joseph Hall, is buried in an American military cemetery in Belgium.
The fact that there's an Ancestry.com link to all of this, how they tracked down this man's family, is insane.
Layers to that one.
Well, that is going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now.
But the news continues right now.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.